If you have a crush, if you like someone, and you've wanted to talk to them for the longest time now, but you have no idea how to start the conversation, then this video is going to save your freaking life. Hi internet best friends, and welcome back to my sleepover. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 10 plus conversation starters that you guys can use to start talking to your crush in order to move things forward with your crush and maybe even start dating them one day. So I'm going to be giving you guys 10 plus conversation starters, which are going to be for all kinds of different scenarios. I legitimately picked so many that I believe that every single one of you watching this right here, if you stick around till the end of this video, you're going to find the conversation starter that is going to work for you. And at the end, I'm also going to be giving you guys tips on how to get your crush to talk to you without you having to approach them, so definitely stick around for that too. And before we get into these amazing conversation starters, if you like content about teenage life, like how to get someone to like you, how to be more confident, how to be more popular, and how to make more friends, then consider subscribing to this channel. If you like this video, consider this your free trial. The first one is to ask a question about an extracurricular activity or a class that you both have. So this is actually something that I've used to start talking to a lot of people. For example, if you guys are both taking some kind of like statistics class, you can ask the person about a problem that you're covering in the class. You can also ask when the deadline is for one of the assignments for that class, or about an extracurricular activity. You can ask something along the lines of like, or are you going to be running in the cross-country race that is going to be happening next week? Honestly, anything where you can use this common theme that is between you two of you guys being in the same activity or the same class. So the second one is actually pretty freaking good on like the psychology type of perspective. So basically, people usually really freaking love talking about their hobbies and their interests. For example, for me, I really love reading books, which you guys can tell even by that like little snippet off the shelf right there. So if you know about a hobby or something that your crush is good at, maybe they like, I always bring this freaking example, but it's just the easiest one. Maybe they like playing guitar, or maybe they like playing a certain sport like basketball. Ask them something about that sport. Ask them who their favorite basketball player is. Ask them when they started playing basketball. And from there, you can keep on talking about basketball, or you can go into a different topic. Basically, whatever they answer, you can kind of like latch onto that and get a new question from that. So maybe if they said like, oh, my dad used to play in high school, so he made me take basketball classes as soon as I was 10. You can be like, oh my god, that's like so early. Was it hard? And then you kind of keep the conversation going from there. So the third conversation starter is also psychology based. So basically what stands behind this is that usually we tend to like people that we do a favor for, which is honestly incredibly weird when you first hear it. It's like, why am I supposed to like someone who I'm doing a favor to? Like, they're supposed to like me more, not the other way around. Like, if someone did me a favor, I'm supposed to be the one that likes them. But no, when you do someone a favor, especially if you help them out with something like a class or something like a homework, you kind of get invested in that person succeeding. So now you're gonna like that person more because you're rooting for them to succeed. So if you and your crush have the same class, or it doesn't even have to be the same class, it can be honestly like anything. It can be something that they're good at and you don't know. It can be as simple as like asking them to reach something on the top shelf, but basically ask them for help with something. So another conversation starter that you guys can actually use is to ask for the outcome of something. So if they had maybe like some kind of game or some kind of play in their school, you can ask how it went, or you can also congratulate them on their performance in that game or in that play. So this next one is probably not doable for everyone, but it is doable for a few people. So for example, for me, I went to a high school that was like an international American high school, and we always had people from all kinds of different places in the world because it was basically like a school for the kids whose parents worked at different embassies. So a very common thing to ask at our school was, where are you from? And that can really help with starting a conversation. You can also use this if you go to international international university like I do right now. Also, just make sure the context is appropriate for that one, because sometimes,
Jenny, what are you? You're so, like, exotic looking.
it can come off kind of weird. So this next conversation starter is, I was thinking about going to blank. Have you ever been there? Or, I know you've been there, and then ask a question about something about that place. If your crush always goes to concerts, you can be like, hey, I know you always go to concerts a lot. I've never been to one, but I'm thinking about going. Do you think it's better to take the standing tickets, or do you think it's better to take the sitting tickets, or something like that? So basically use a place that your crush has been to as a conversation starter. So the next one is pretty good because it can actually give you an excuse to see them, and it is, are you going to blank? So if there's maybe like a school event, or if there's a school football game or something like that, you can ask them if they're going there. And if they're going there, you can be like, oh great, that's gonna be so fun, hopefully I can see you there, and then you can walk off, and then when you see them at that event, you can say hi. If your crush has something that they're always wearing, maybe it's a ring that they always wear, maybe it's a jacket that they always wear, maybe they wear some kind of like branded t-shirt or like merch t-shirt or something like that, you can ask them about that item. For example, if it's a ring, you can be like, hey, I really like your ring, I noticed you wear it a lot, is there some kind of like special meaning to it? If they have a band t-shirt, you can be like, oh, that band is like super cool, when did you start listening to them? I look so tired, but basically another one is like, so if you guys are like new to school, you can ask where like a certain classroom is or something like that to the person that you think looks kind of cute or the person that you want to talk to. So this next one is a little similar to some of the previous ones, which is to ask them a question about something that they know a lot about. Okay, let's use my favorite, the most simple example in the humanity's existence, but you yourself know whatever your crush knows a lot about better than me. If your crush is playing guitar and they know a lot about guitars, you can ask them some kind of question about guitars. You can ask them if they think like acoustic guitars are better for beginners, or if electric guitars are better, or something like that, which will also again make them feel like an expert on that subject and make them feel good about themselves. And we remember the feelings that we felt when interacting with the person more than what we actually said in that interaction. If you make the person feel good about themselves, that's going to be memorable to them, and they're going to like you more because you make them feel good about themselves. And this next one is something for those of you guys who are kind of like closer with your crush, or maybe you don't even have to be close for this one. So basically this one is a common interest. So if you find out that your crush is watching the same TV shows as you, or maybe they like the same like movie brands, for example like Disney, Marvel, or maybe you both like the same book, music artist, the list goes on and on. You can go up to them and start talking to them about that. You can be like, oh, I just found out that you also liked this, I am a huge fan of that, and then you probably know what you can say because you're really into that thing, so it's gonna be easy to talk about it. If you still don't know which conversation starter you can use with your crush, is first of all, you can comment down below, tell me your situation, and I'm going to try to come up for a conversation starter with you on how to start talking to your crush. Second of all, here are 2 tips that can make your crush talk to you without you having to directly approach them and talk to them. Number 1, be open. I know we always like to either be on our phones or be surrounded by a huge group of friends and like always walk with a huge group of friends, but if you want someone to approach you, you should actually be approachable. That means put your phone away. And number 2 is stand alone sometimes. So it is way harder to approach a huge group of people because that can be really intimidating, and if the person is standing alone, then it's easier to approach them. So chances are, if your crush wants to talk to you, if they see you and you're not on your phone, you have an open body language and you're standing by yourself, not surrounded by a huge group, then they might actually come up and say something to you. The second one is to give them a reason by having some kind of interesting school supply or some kind of merch. Bonus points if it's something that both of you guys like, or if it's something that you know your crush likes, but don't go out buying merch for the things that your crush likes, please don't invest that much. And I'm also going to tell you to keep your first conversation short so it leaves the person wanting more and it's not gonna go into this awkward silence. And if you guys want to know how to get your crush's phone number so you can start texting your crush with the conversation starters that I gave you in my other video, then you can check out this video right here. And if you want like a step-by-step how to get your crush to like you guide, then you can check out this video right here, where I also recommend videos for every single step, which are in my crush playlist in the exact correct order, which is also going to be right here. So yeah, that is it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.